Yo, I'm setting it up right now.
All right. We're getting it set up, y'all. Here we come.
Right there.
Ain't gonna be no music today, y'all, but don't worry
There
about
won't
it.
be no music today. Play some of the music that's in the thing that you tell Yuri to play. What you mean?
Huh?
Play
I
some
forgot
of the
my
music-
pen.
Play some of the music that you tell Yuri to play.
Nah, because it's copyright on that mess.
Huh?
It's copyright.
As far as I'm talking about, as far as putting little you ain't got none of your own stuff on the file?
Nah, I'm sure.
Yo, what's good? He's setting up. Yo, Vaughn, what's good? I see you tuned in early too, you know what I'm saying? Good looking out, you know what I'm saying? Sherry, what's happening? We see you popping up. Toya, yaga. Yeah, you know what's up. We're gonna be here till 12, you know what I'm saying? Somewhere around there, you know what I mean, doing our thing. You know, he's setting it up right now, so it's all about the Benjamins, baby. Yo, okay. Hey, so what's good? What y'all think about them making everybody get this shot? Hey, yo, hit us up. Let us know what you think. Are you gonna be taking a shot? Are you mandatory to take the shot, or you gonna, you know, believe in what it is? Throughout history, you see what they've been doing. So I don't really tell you what they've been doing. Look in the books to see what they've been doing. You know what I'm saying? What you think gonna change? Who you think's gonna change? Is it gonna change? Come on now. Think about it. And who they trying to get? Huh? What color? Spanish? All colors. You know what I'm saying? So you really gotta think about what's going on. You gotta read. And that's why they don't want us in the books. They don't want us reading. Don't you know they burn books so you wouldn't get information to be able to fight them legally with the paperwork you can put in to sue these companies that think they can run the world. So you gotta understand what's going on here. It's bigger than you think. Feel me? When you got people and organizations planning 200-year-old plans to fold out for generations to come, for it to take effect, then you got to be on some other thinking types. You understand? And that's what they doing. So yo, Lorraine, what's happening? I see you. Peace. Say no to that vaccine. Word up. Okay, we popping now. Yeah.
Good morning, my children of the sun. Welcome to the Open Eye on WHGE 95.3 FM. Yes, indeed. We was running a little late, but you know, we here. If we here, we on time. That's right. That's not arrogance. That's just who we are. We always on time. Good morning, Nsoromma. What's up, brother?
What's happening, my brother?
Yes, indeed. First time in history today. We came in together. That's
y'all
word.
see some history
We here.
today, yo.
That's word. Yeah, we here.
Yeah.
That's word. Hey, look. WHGE 95.3 is brought to you by the Delaware Center for Homeless Vets, the founders and builders of the Pearl Center. The Pearl Center, that's right. Hey, Delaware Center for Homeless Vets.
Yeah.
All right. And we got a little incentive for you.
What's the incentive?
Okay. Now, what Delaware Center for Homeless Vets is doing right now,
Right.
we have a program where we are finding homeless vets or specifically, actually,
What?
formerly incarcerated or justice involved veterans.
What?
All right?
Okay.
It's tough for them to get a job.
It's tough for anybody to get a job.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
not you know, when you've been through, you got some type of sort of handicap, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, you just disabled, you know, it's most definitely hard.
Yeah, it's most definitely tough. Yeah, it's most definitely tough. And it's tough for formerly incarcerated vets. That's why we target them and, you know, help them get on their feet, get a job, get home, this, that, and the other.
That's good, man.
I need your help. There's some veterans out there that won't come on in and take advantage of this program or may not know about the program. Now you do. If you refer a formerly incarcerated veteran or a justice-involved veteran to the Delaware Center for Homeless Vets,
do they have to have been locked up?
Well,
That's my question.
Well, yeah.
Do they have to have been locked up?
Yeah,
They can't be just trying to get their life together.
Well,
they can't
that's the
just
thing.
jail.
That's the thing.
I mean,
yeah.
there's always a catch to something that's going on.
That's who we're
say.
concentrating on. We're
Okay,
concentrating on them because they are having a really hard time getting on their feet. So we're specifically concentrating on formerly incarcerated veterans or veterans that are justice involved, which means you may not have been locked up, you might have got probation for a DUI or something along those lines.
No, you didn't have to be incarcerated.
You didn't have to be incarcerated.
But if you have any type of injustice pending on,
right,
we can help you.
We can help.
Yo, well, come on.
And like I said, I want y'all to help me.
Right.
Because
we need y'all. He's calling y'all out now.
That's right.
Y'all got, if y'all know veterans and y'all know people that's out there that need this help. I know a lot of people out there do. So yo, take the number down. Yo,
I'm gonna give you the number.
Give me the number. 844-944.
3953.
That's right. Say it again for them two more times. So they.
And I'm not asking you to do this for free. Because if you refer a veteran to us, okay, and he is qualified for the program, I give $30 a veteran.
Okay.
DCHV will give you $30 per veteran. All right?
Oh, okay.
Just get in touch with us.
So you got a little consultant check you got for you.
Yeah.
You got a consultant check for you. You can network it. It's called network in the community.
That's what it's
called. If you network in the community, you can make $30 just networking real quick.
Just network.
For real. Put your hustle in and let some of these veterans know that's been incarcerated that, listen, I can get you help right now.
Right now.
And give them the number, 844-944.
3953.
3953. And yo, that's what it is.
And write this other number down.
What's the other number, son?
302 691 7411. That's to our main office. 691 7411.
Okay, that's what it is. That's what it is.
All right. Our disclaimer, whatever we say on here is we're responsible for that. The station isn't, our sponsor isn't. You know, we make our own thing. All right, that's our disclaimer.
That's right.
In case you're wondering, I don't have my commercial flash drive, but don't worry about it. We here. Don't worry about it. We here. All right, something I want to. Oh yeah. About education. Let me tell y'all something. Our children deserve a better tomorrow. Our children are dependent upon us to carve them a better future. They deserve a better future where their schools doesn't marginalize their history and omits most of their contributions, where they are not constantly dehumanized in the media in order to demoralize them and create justifications for them being routinely murdered by white cops. However, the problem is that so many so-called conscious people want to constantly debate about what we should call ourselves. This happens so often, it becomes like a dog chasing his own damn tail, getting nowhere. Let's put that aside. Let's put our difference aside and focus instead upon our common goal of liberation, because our children deserve a better tomorrow. Understand that.
Right.
You know, it's something I've mentioned several times. Is we don't know what to call ourselves. I can settle on black and be good.
What Dr. Anderson say call yourselves?
Without the what?
Who did Dr. Anderson say call yourself?
Claude Anderson?
Yes.
He's one thing he said, don't call yourself minorities. Don't call yourself people of color.
And he said call yourself Native American, because that's what they have written all the things under, all the laws under that helps us is Native American. So we as brown, colored, and black people, if we ain't claiming Native American, we are losing out through their law. You see what I'm saying? Through their language.
See, that's one big disagreement that I have with Dr. Claude Anderson. Okay?
Law is law.
Law is law, and we may be indigenous. Some of us may be indigenous, but don't get caught up in calling us Native Americans, because what that does, it denies the black Holocaust of the Atlantic slave trade. And that's something that was fed into by a lot of our people.
It denies
Moors.
What do you mean by that?
It denies the fact, because a lot of Moors deny the fact that the black Holocaust even happened. That there was, in fact, an Atlantic slave trade, that Africans were brought here to this land and enslaved.
They've been
now, the vast majority
that they have done to us, so you know they're lying.
Okay.
They deny everything they've done.
Yeah, but the thing is, with the Moors, we get involved in that denial, because I've had this debate with many Moors who want to deny the Atlantic slave trade, and there's a reason for that.
What?
Okay, because actually the Moors of the Moor Science Temple have no connection to the ancient Moors that conquered southern Europe.
Now, I don't think no one that exists has no connection to none of them. Because we're not connected, period. You have no chase of where the bloodline come from for real. How far can you chase a regular person's bloodline or blood tree back?
How far? We can trace it all the way back to ancient Egypt.
But I'm saying, who is your 33rd grandma?
My 33rd grandma is Nefertiti.
Nefertiti?
Nefertiti, I mean, you damn right.
You good.
You know why? Because
who your 67th grandma? Who your 67th bloodline grandma?
Queen Tom.
Yo, you coming out too fed. Okay, wait one more. Who your 229th grandma?
My 229th grandma is Queen Nzinga. Don't mess with me.
Hey, yo, y'all see what I'm doing over here? Yo, listen. Yo, the ball man, when you know what you're talking about, you know what you're talking about. It's just that simple. So, and that's how we got to learn who we are, man. We don't have that history. Like, all of us don't have that history. You know what I'm saying? So, for us to be able to come off and say exactly what you know, like at the drop of the question, boom, bam, I got answer for you, because this is what I know about me. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it has to be, man. We have to really learn ourselves.
That's what it's got to be.
And our forefathers, man, and what they've done for us to make it the progress this far. Because we losing it, because we ain't using the same tools that they were using to get where they got. They trying to cut them off. They trying to not have us to have access to these tools and these walls that was helping them. You know what I'm saying? So,
yes, indeed. And you know, let me tell you something. Why so many of our people have an affinity for ancient Kemet, which we know is Egypt. Right. Okay? Because, like Dr. Chancellor Williams taught us, follow the migrations. He followed the migrations of the priesthood and the leadership when Egypt declined and fell. Right. And the migrations lead to West Africa. And what was taken out of West Africa? What happened in West Africa? That was the main source of the enslavers in the slave trade. So those of us that are over here, that came here during the slave trade, are most likely has some connection based on the migrations to ancient Kemet. It's just that easy.
I thought the Queen was leading the show when it came to the slave trade and running all of the stuff like that.
Well, remember, the slave trade started after Cristobal Colon, known as Christopher Columbus, had sailed to the west, led by
a black man,
a navigator who was a Moor, who was a black man. Okay, and the thing you have to understand about the ancient Moors that conquered southern Europe, when they left Europe, were chased out of Europe basically, okay, and they returned to Africa, they had been in Europe for 700 years. So they had no compassion, no historical connection to Africa. So when they came in, they were pretty much the ancient Janjaweed who were against their own African brothers. And who was involved in the slave trade? the Moors, because they was floating on boats. And they was not only involved in the transatlantic slave trade, but they were also involved in the trans-Sahara slave trade. The trans-Sahara slave trade, which was perpetrated by Arabs, Muslims, and Berbers.
Right,
And
all of them was involved with this black slave mentality for them to come up off of. They always involved. And that's just like what's happening now. If everybody pointing the finger at you to go, okay, being as though it's just mainly blacks that's not wanting to take this shot, you know what I'm saying? Because all the history throughout history proved that it's, skeptical. They skeptical.
And well, they should be.
Right, and we should look at them like that. And also, if they actually point the finger at us as the people that's understanding that this is being forced upon us. We have a legal right of the planet to be able to choose if you got the choice to choose God or the devil, you should both have the choice to choose anything in this world as a human. And that's
when you say choose God or the devil, I think that one of man's greatest tricks was to give people an excuse for their behavior. The devil made me do it. The hell the devil made you do it. Your army ass came up with that. Don't give me that. That's word.
I tell you, there's some people out there that's possessed, you know what I'm saying? That, you can't, it's things that's unseen that can't be explained. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just the power of the planet. You know what I'm saying? Man.
Look,
we gotta stay woke.
Let me get to this, bro. Now check it. All right. If you got a man who has an apartment and it's stacked to the ceilings with newspapers. Yeah.
Okay.
We will call him crazy.
Okay.
If you have a woman that has a trailer house full of cats, we call her nuts. But when people pathologically hoard so much cash that they impoverish the entire nation or the planet, we put them on the cover of Fortune magazine and like to pretend that they are role models. They are not.
I mean, how can you? This is my thing. Now, this is just logic. I don't know logic a lot.
Okay.
How can you say you have to save money? Right? And they make money every day.
Yeah.
They make millions of dollars every day. They press millions of dollars every day. But then they tell you to save money.
Yeah. And you know what's deep about that is that monopoly money. That's what that monopoly money.
That's worth nothing.
That's worth nothing.
Okay.
It only has value because we put value on it. We need to understand that.
Right.
We need to understand.
Invest that same monopoly money into gold and silver and precious metals, and that's the way you accumulate fortune. Because to put this digital money into the bank, which is not really money, because as you said, we put value on that.
Right.
But if you go outside the United States, they don't look at the United States money like we look at the money. You know what I'm saying? And most of us that can't get out of where we are off of 30th Street or off of 27th and West, you know what I'm saying, to be able to go to other countries to see that our value of our dollar is depreciating fast throughout all the stuff that we're going through here in America. You know what I'm saying? So we have to understand we got to invest more in the natural resources that the Creator has, such as gold and precious metals and stuff like that. Right?
It's something. That's what got Gaddafi in trouble.
What?
Because when he was doing
money.
Well, what he was doing was he wanted to produce a currency. Okay, in Africa.
Right.
An African-wide currency that would be used all over Africa.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That was based on the resources of Africa. See, our money is just based on a promise. It's nothing but a promissory note.
Right.
And when you spend it overseas, you know what it's backed by? Our military. All right? You let some other country that's been using the U.S. dollar. The U.S. dollar is the main currency for international trade.
Right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Okay? You let another country come up with a currency that they want to push as the main yeah.
Right.
Main
They doing that
currency.
right now. That's what I'm saying. They're in the process of
main
trying to do that
currency
now.
for international trade. America will go kick their ass. They need some democracy over there. That's what. Another thing I want to get on, and this happened a while back.
Right.
I'm a veteran.
Okay.
Okay. And one Veterans Day, I saw online or something that you could go to a Subway and get you a free meal if you're a veteran. All right, cool. So I do. Well, I go to this Subway over on Trolley Square. All right. And the cat wouldn't honor that. Wouldn't honor Veterans Day. Not for black meat. Now he let this white dude come in and give him a meal for free, but he said, nah, because I don't think you're really a veteran and you ain't got, what? You kidding? I got all kind of credentials that show I'm a veteran. Okay, I went and hit on. Now later on, I was telling a white person about this.
Right.
And what they said was, well, you don't really know that it was race. It didn't have to be race. It could have been like, he didn't like your hair, or he didn't like that you're a guy with earrings on. He didn't say, wait a damn minute. To imply that black people are lying in a widespread way about racial injustice is itself a kind of racism, because it assumes that we cannot be trusted to be accurate translators of our own experience. We're not stupid. Get the hell out of here. So we don't have sense enough to know when we're being discriminated against. And this is what white supremacy society pushes, is that, you know, it's not as bad as you're making out. You got a victim mentality. Get the hell out of here. We do not have a victim mentality. We have been victimized by the terrorists of global white supremacy, and that's the bottom line. I don't give a damn what you believe.
Right.
I don't give a damn how much you want to take the education.
But most people don't really understand that, you know, this like, you have a black kid and a white kid, and the kids are boys. And it's going to be so much difference between that in this society that, you know, it's a shame. It's just a shame.
It is.
So within understanding that as an older person and you being a asset to this society, you have to start that change inside yourself.
Right.
I seen a thing on YouTube. The dude poured pepper on a plate and then he poured salt on the plate and he shook it all up. You know what I'm saying? Mixing the pepper and the salt together. And he took and said to his little white son, he said, "Pick out all the black."
Okay.
And when he said, that's impossible. Right. That's what he said. And he said, you know what? That starts society. And they try to get you to pick out all the black people in society. You can't do that. It's impossible. So we have to love one another because we have to live with one another, no matter how it goes. So once you become my enemy and you hit me, it's on. So it's been on with us for years, 400 at least. You know what I'm saying? So we have, as the 400-year-old getting beat up on person that's got the foot on their neck, has to stand up now and put your chest out and put your hands up to protect yourself, so you can against these things that's going on.
Against this, see, and that's a big problem that we have, is that we've lost so much of our warrior class to the demands and pressures of the dominant white society.
I don't see any black males that's forefront on TV. That's got their thing going on. Okay, you can look at well-off people, Jay-Z and them, and who all these people that got money that's up in the high ranks of, you know, society. Why we don't see you? You're not helping society, the ones that helped you get where you are, and give them ideals and experiences that you had to. Pushing that.
That's
like they pushing this corona, like they pushing the black agenda, like they pushing all these things that's holding us back. We don't got the forefront of strong black leaders that's men, that's saying they're men and warriors, that's in front of this. They're not pumping that. You know what I'm saying?
You know one of the few that is?
Who?
And that's Brother David Banner. The top artist David Banner.
But you don't see him on their mainstream.
Oh no, they're going to keep him away from the mainstream.
That's what I'm saying.
They're
We have to demand this
in
the mainstream.
That's
because
right.
The mainstream is the stream. Anything else is mediocre. You understand?
Well, no, wait a minute. We're not mediocre. We're
not mediocre. We're not mainstream. But mediocre and mainstream is different.
Yeah.
You understand? It's just that simple. If you can reach 10,000 people to 1 trillion people, you know what I'm saying? That's different in a big scale.
Right.
So,
which is why I tell our listeners, make sure
Charlie,
that you share our show with other people.
Right.
With other black
it's
people.
all in that
so they can get this message.
Most definitely.
And understand where we are. Look.
Right.
Okay. And the crazy thing is when you tell people this, okay.
Right.
Well, you know, that's not actually. I'm talking about black people now.
I mean, our own people, our own kind. Yeah.
Our own people.
Okay.
When I came back from the Middle East,
right,
and North Africa.
First of all, they won't believe you went to the Middle East because you know. Okay, but anyway.
Right? I told people, you know what? Maybe we need to take another look as black people as claiming Islam as a black religion, because what I saw is that there's still slavery in the Middle East. And
man, they selling black people right now. In the Middle East, in Libya, beating them and selling them, and men, women, and children.
But you know what the people told me when I told them that? Man, you need to stop reading all that black stuff. Are you kidding me? I'm not telling you about something I read. I'm telling you about something I saw.
Yo, now see, that's even worse.
You know? Ignorant. Jeez, yes, indeed. You know?
Oh
just
my
like
God.
we tell people, look, there's a war on black people. America is perpetrating a war on black people. Oh, we don't believe it. See, you didn't believe it until it showed up in the
mainstream. The population in the prison system.
That's what.
Any prison system.
And I got something better for you.
Anywhere.
Since y'all so apt to believe the mainstream press.
Right.
All right. Right in the New York Times. In the New York
Times.
All right. War on blacks. Nixon administration invented anti-drug campaign to target minorities. I don't like to use that word, but that's what the headline said. And with his
campaign.
Yeah, well, with his one of his top men, John Erickman, I forget what his position was in the Nixon administration. He said, "Look,
get the N word."
Yeah.
Okay.
He said, "Look, we knew we couldn't make it illegal to be either against the war, the Vietnam War at the time, or black by getting the public to associate the hippies and with marijuana and blacks with heroin, and then criminalizing them both heavy. We could disrupt those communities." Did we know we were lying about the drug? Of course we did. Now that was from one of Nixon's top men.
But that's what I'm saying. And these type of whistleblowers, when they come out years later, all of them should be locked up still for not coming out before it happened to kill all these people. You know what I'm saying?
That's
or to have these people's lives be interrupted on some old underhanded stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's really messy, man.
Society
is becoming. I mean, you don't even want to come out your house now because of what you can possibly get into. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
That's word.
It's really crazy.
And you know what?
What?
This is something else too. Why are you so angry?
Why am I so angry?
Yeah, why are you so angry? And why can't you
you know what I did now? I'm not that super angry black man no more that I was. I mean, I used to be angry and wonder why I was treated so wrong and so different and why he get to do that and I don't, and you know, type of stuff like that. But now you have to really not care and get your own. If you get your own and you don't have to deal with none of the things that you know is really forced upon you. You know what I'm saying? It's all about understanding your circumference area for real. You know what I'm saying?
Well, what you have to do, you know, is you have to channel that energy.
Oh, most definitely.
You know, into making a difference. But
Right.
I'm still angry.
But I mean, believe I'm still angry, but I've learned how that anger only is anger. It's not anything else. It
And
doesn't.
you don't channel that
It
energy.
can do nothing for you to make progress.
Mhm.
So the anger has to be taken out. And okay, I'm so mad at you. I'm going to learn all I need to know about this particular Constitution or this law, and apply it to that particular person and situation, so I can make them pay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So, like I said, it's about channeling that energy. It's
Right.
about channeling
Still-
that energy. But I'm still angry, and I'm angry about.
Angry, man.
Yeah, I'm angry about Tamir Rice, 12 years old.
God, man.
Trayvon Martin,
Most definitely.
17. Mike Brown,
No, that's beyond anger, man.
18. Akai Girl, 28.
That's beyond anger.
Ezel Ford, 25. John Crawford III, 22. Eric Gardner, 43. Yvette Smith. You know what?
What?
We don't mention the women enough that are murdered by the police, like Tanisha Anderson.
I mean,
You know?
these are
Ayanna
our
Grant,
so-called-
Ayanna Jones.
our so-called angels that's supposed to be helping us and supposed to be protecting us, and they end up killing us. And you know, that in itself is sad, and it's really sad that the people of the nation don't come together and see that this is happening among the black community and do something about it, and put their feet down and make these injustice officers pay.
You know what? And here's the damnest thing about that, right? Now, I forgot her name. I want to say it was something Jones, but this sister,
Right.
all right, saw one of those Blue Lives Matter signs.
Blue Lives Matter.
Yeah, which,
everybody lives matter now, because being as though we was killing black people and whatever. Blue Lives Matter.
Blue Lives
Asian Lives Matter. Chinese Lives Matter.
And it was a flyer.
I didn't see none of them getting hung and burned and cooked and put on a boat and shipped 6 million miles away from where they are. I don't see that. So how is that a comparison?
There's none.
Okay,
There's
I
absolutely
just wanted to
none.
say that.
Because we as black people are absolutely unique. And we are unique from any other black people in the world. Understand that. Okay? And let me tell you. This young sister covered up a flyer, bought up a flyer, one of those Blue Lives Matter flyers.
Right.
A cop saw her do that.
Okay, so.
And he rolled up on her and said that was disrespectful to cops. Well, disrespectful to cops is not against the law, you racist bastard.
Exactly. There's nothing you can do to me. Matter of fact, if you touch me, I'm going to sue the company, and I'm going to sue you for the time that I'm missing. I get paid $14,000 an hour, and that breaks down into like $2,000.
Before we go too far, though, let me tell you.
Yo, you better get up.
He locked her up.
Of course.
He locked her up and said she was intimidating him as a policeman by balling up that Blue Lives Matter. So basically what he's saying, if you have an opinion about the police's, about the police, the race soldiers' injustice towards us, that's intimidating to the police. You go to hell.
That wasn't the police uniform doing that. That was the guy standing in the uniform doing that.
Right.
So that's who you do. That's who you attack. You don't attack the state, the police, the officer. You attack John Maxwell, the guy that did it to you.
That's right.
You sue the pants and the socks off of him.
Exactly.
That's what you do. That's why you don't fight. You don't argue. You don't get beat up. You don't get billy club. You go, okay, you feel like that? Take me down, and we'll see the judge. Thank you, sir.
Right. But look what the prosecutor did. The prosecutor charged her with a hate crime.
I mean, they all working together.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
That.
So he's not a prosecutor anymore. Exactly. He's not a prosecutor.
Officer of the court.
You plead guilty to nothing if you did nothing, and you take any charge. No charges.
No charges.
So
that's
it all
and like those two Jewish lawyers online said,
they try to scare us and intimidate us so bad.
They said, "Shut up."
Right, and go get them.
And come get them.
Right, go on TV and get these people that's wanting to fight these race soldiers. It's people out here that hate them just like we have animosity for them, anger. You just have to find them people that's hungry to get these people.
That's
you know what I'm saying? When you got the right ammunition on your team, you can get anybody.
Right. But see, here's one of our problems.
What?
And this is so for society overall, not just black people.
Right. Society.
We are so confused.
Right.
All right. When I was coming up, there were boundaries, there were lines, there were things that you were taught, and things were explained to you so that you knew what was what.
Right.
Okay? But nowadays, you have to be able to explain the birds and the bees, the bees and the bees, the birds and the birds, the birds that used to be bees, the bees that used to be birds, the birds that look like bees, and the bees that look like birds but still got a goddamn sticker. Jeez Louise, and you wonder why we so freaking confused? Damn! Kind of mess is that?
Yo, and that's what they doing.
That's what they're doing, bro.
It really beat me up because now that even the women that's pregnant, if you know how you have to be able to say the embryo is a boy or a girl, they have the option to be able to change that when it come out to go, okay, you want a little girl or a boy? The doctor.
Yeah.
Now, come on now.
Yeah, they going too far.
This right society, and they coming up with AI, artificial intelligence that's almost human, and can do human things so human like that you wouldn't even tell that this is a robot that's next to you. So you got to really understand that our world and our society is becoming such a dependable mechanism on these computers that you have to learn computers. If you don't, you're gonna be in the dark ages.
That's what you're gonna do.
I mean, it's
you
nothing wrong with the dark
get a
ages.
job.
Right. It's nothing wrong with
or do business.
Right. But
and eventually the chip is
building a society the proper way to live properly. So get it together, y'all. Just get it together. You know what I mean?
Now, one of the things that I mentioned when concerning the education is, of course, HBCUs, historical black colleges and universities. Okay, the thing is that so many of our HBCUs have been infiltrated, right, by those white supremacists in black skin, that they don't even want to teach our history.
And that's, I think, is messed up. They didn't. You ain't never heard them say anything about stop teaching the Jewish Holocaust.
No.
Anything about teaching the English war that the British war that they had. They keep all of their history going on throughout their generations. And that's what I mean by 100-year plan and 200-year plans. They put plans in effect, man, that we don't know about, that comes out 30 and 40 years later.
Which is what we need to learn.
Right.
Because what others have convinced as prophecy has been nothing but long-term plan.
Right.
Okay, now at Howard University, they got a white history teacher who stated that any student that quotes the great Dr. John Henry Clark, one of our most brilliant scholars and historians, fails in his class.
And that's what I'm saying. He's a part of the problem. He's inserted. Now, for him to say that and still have a job, who is his boss?
Right.
You understand?
Is the black dean in his department who backed him up on that mess.
But I'm saying, okay, that black dean, who you think is his boss?
Well, the dean of the college.
Okay, and what color you think? I know. Okay.
But they're getting corporate money.
Listen. It's like, okay, we went two tiers into that organization.
That hierarchy.
Okay, the hierarchy. Okay, now who you think his boss is? You think all of them bosses, the last boss gonna be black? You think that?
Well, that's why I brought up the corporation. Okay? Because, yes, that black dude is the boss of that school. But who does he have to answer to? He has to answer to government and corporate grants that come into his school.
Right, and when they give them this money, they go, okay, we're going to give you these grants, but you can't talk nothing about this.
That's right.
So you want this money, you don't. You don't. $1 million, you don't.
Yep.
$1 million, you don't. They're going to take the $1 million and shut up.
Right.
Or do
Which brings me to
that's terrible, man.
Afrocentrism versus Afrocentricity. What is Afrocentrism? How is it different from Afrocentricity? And what are the facts and fictions about these terminologies?
Right.
Firstly, the term Afrocentrism was coined by American Jewish historian Mary R. Lefkowitz in her book Not Out of Africa, where she claims that Greek civilization was not stolen from Africa via Egypt. She's nothing but a white supremacist. Forget about it, okay? According to her, black nationalists and political, economic, and cultural agenda teach false history without any evidence. She cited the great Cheikh Anta Diop and other African American scholars as founders of Afrocentrism. No such thing. Critics say Lefkowitz is nothing but a sympathizer for white supremacy who is motivated by ideology more than scientific facts.
Then my thing is, as far as you can go back to them digging up people, every person that they dug up was black.
The deeper they dig, the blacker it gets.
And that's why they stopped digging.
Right.
So I tell her, whatever you're thinking, shut up, because you don't know what you're talking about.
Well, let me tell you something.
That's ignorant.
They set up a debate between her and the great John Henrik Clark. And she got up and she said a bunch of stuff that sounded erudite and intelligent.
Almost definitely. They're going to make it sound good because they got words. They make up good words.
And this is when Dr. Clark came up with this phrase.
What?
He said, I don't know why y'all calling this a debate. Because I only debate my equals. All others I teach.
Right.
All right? Interestingly, Lefkowitz, she made up the term Afrocentrism without any direct link to renowned African scholar or their writings. Afrocentricity, on the other hand, was coined by African American professor Malifi Kete Asante, Temple University, as the interpretation of reality of African perspectives. According to the scholar, the ultimate goal of Afrocentricity is as follows: decolonize information and knowledge, free black people from centuries of European miseducation, establish an African paradigm which makes African people the subject and not object of history and civilization. Unfortunately, most people are too familiar with Afrocentrism instead of Afrocentricity. In fact, anyone who rejects white or yellow Egypt hypocrisy and affirms the African origin of Egypt and Nubia as told by ancient records, that the ancient Kemet or Egyptian kept himself, will be classified as pushing mythology. And so it goes. Of course, this is not the case. Because like Nsoromma said, the deeper you dig, the blacker it gets.
That's right.
And that scares the hell out of them.
Most definitely.
And unfortunately, some of us.
Of course.
Because what it does is, look,
what?
You're going to trade 6,000 years of biblical history for damn near 1,000,000 years of African history. Wake up.
No, man. And let's go get the reparation that we need and we deserve. That's all I'm saying. Like, make them pay, and make them pay like they paid everybody else that they did something too. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And that's just it. You know what I'm saying?
That's just it.
And if every person that's of color put a reparation letter in for the lawsuit you want for your amount and send it to the Congress, I mean, we might can get something moved on for a civil lawsuit. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
for that reparation for the blacks in that state, and do it stately and not as a global thing, and then can we make it a global thing? Everybody.
Well, you know that global thing actually scared the hell out of them.
Almost definitely.
Because what Malcolm X was about human rights, getting on human rights. Okay, and what he was going to do before he got killed was he was going to present this in the UN.
Yeah,
and they wasn't having that.
Right.
They wasn't having that. But black
if you
people,
go, Okay.
Black people, this from Marcus.
Right.
Teach your children that they are direct descendants of the greatest and proudest race who ever peopled the earth.
Right.
And it is because of the fear of our return to power in a civilization of our own that may outshine others, why we are hated and kept down by a jealous, prejudiced, contemporary.
But I don't remember none of our kings and queens ever being labeled as killers and not equal people. You know what I'm saying?
No.
You know, I never really heard of.
You know, I heard this sister. She was on Professor Black. Yeah. And what she said was, even if you get rid of all the racism, it's not going to get rid of the problems that black people face, because all the problems that black people face can be traced directly to racism. And she had a PhD. And the way she was talking, I was listening
Where's she
at her.
from? That's tell you everything.
Sears
University. Don't the donuts high?
Target.
Yo,
Yeah, I think she said a way for it online.
Hey, yo, some of the most smartest and think that PhD people be the worst, man, because they just
Some of them.
you know.
And she was definitely one of the worst, because the more she talked, the more I wanted to call in and ask, is she on drugs?
You should have
Is
did
she
that.
taking dope?
Yo, give me some of that.
Yeah,
Yo,
put past
yeah, yo, two plus.
And maybe I want none of that, because it made you stupid. That's words, you know? Oh my God. And this sister,
Right.
she said that she has 3 identities. See right there, you goddamn crazy. Because you got multiple identities.
What you mean by that?
Well, she's black, she's a woman, and she's a lesbian.
Oh, that ain't. Who cares about you being a lesbian?
Right.
I mean,
You know?
that's not
Because
an
they ain't
identity.
oppressing you for
That's
being a
not an
lesbian.
identity. That has nothing to. They try to compare that to people getting hung in a tree.
Right.
Civil rights. No, I'm not accepting that. That's
I heard
something
that.
you choose to do, and that's your business. Who cares about your business in that aspect? So that can be compared. No. Sorry.
That's
Sorry.
word. And that's why I said with this,
No.
all of her identities are all equal and together. Well, guess what, honey? They ain't oppress you because you was a lesbian. They might oppress you because you was a woman. But the main reason they oppress your ass
Because you were.
because you one of us. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Look, and with this ends us up with, we must be proactive to the extreme. Okay? Stop being reactionary. Be proactive. Black people are a targeted group living in danger and oppression. This has been so from the founding of this country. Neither emancipation, the civil rights movement, black power, nor the election of a black president has changed any of that. We have and must always move intelligently, and we cannot afford to live in fear. We must always be conscious of the forces arrayed against us and stand up to those forces determined to devalue our lives. We cannot be ruled by reactionary regression. We must be proactive in the extreme, revolutionary, and that revolution starts here in your mind.
Definitely, revolution starts in your mind.
Because our condition is extreme, whether you know it or not.
Right.
Just because some of y'all got a little comfortable, you got complacent. We should never allow one instance of injustice to go unanswered, because that unanswered instance will be followed by escalation. We treat people how to teach. We teach people
How to treat.
how to treat.
That's right.
That's right. You never know it. And you know, we got 45 minutes in the day. We rolling and what have you, but as I always tell you, destiny determines who enters your life.
True that.
But you decide who stays.
Wagwan.
And don't treat those
Wagwan.
as an option. This is Open Eye on WHGE 95.3 FM with Patrice Gibbs.
I'm Nsoromma.
We hope you enjoyed the show.
True that.
We'll be back next week with more.
Y'all.
We'll be going upside your head again. Don't get it mixed. That's word.
Yaga. And yo, y'all be good, be safe, and be strong.
Thanks for joining us.
Yo, you know what it is. Yup. Boom. That's right. Hey, yo, thank all y'all for tuning in. I'm telling y'all personally, you know what I'm saying, on my homeboys page. Yaga. Thank y'all for tuning in. See you next Saturday. And that's what it is.
All right. Thanks for joining us. I know you learned something. Hey, come back next week and learn some more. Peace. Oh, that's me. Oh, okay.
Yo, I'm back to my side. Yo, what's up?